Hello, my friends. Welcome to today's edition of BizTech on Ghana Web TV. Today's exclusive packet contains a roundup of business headlines as well as an interesting conversation with a tech entrepreneur who's simplifying business registration processes in the country. You have this and many other stories coming up shortly. My name is Desmond Frimpong. As you know, business registration processes can be somewhat a cumbersome process in the country. But here's the catch. A group of entrepreneurs have come up together to come up with an app called BizAccess, which is simplifying the cumbersome process. My colleague, Maoli Ahlomega, sat with the general manager of this tech company and has come through with this report.
Registering your business in Ghana is a rather tedious process, but an indigenous company is bringing about a solution through an app that assists individuals and companies to register their business and receive their certification in 10 days. And all this is inclined with the Registrar General's Department. I'll be speaking to the General Manager of BizAccess, the indigenous-owned Ghanaian company. Join us for this conversation. Welcome back to BizTech. I'll be speaking to Samuel, and he's the General Manager of BizAccess. Hello, Samuel. Welcome to BizTech.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
I know you are into an app, which is BizAccess. What exactly is BizAccess?
Yeah, so BizAccess in itself is an app, but it was developed by the BizAccess Consult Limited, which is a secretariatship and a consultancy firm. Yeah.
So what went into this whole inception of once you guys coming up with such an app? Because I know your app is supposed to serve as sort of a middleman to the Registrar General for businesses to be able to file their application to register their businesses. So just take us through briefly how the whole point of you guys coming up with this app.
Yeah, so we realized that when someone wants to get their business registered or their company registered, the hassle they have to go through at the Registrar General's Department, the long queues they have to join, and sometimes the number of days or sometimes months that their business registration delays. So we came up with the idea of why don't we design an app so that the person will sit at the comfort of their homes. They will just go to the app, they will put whatever information they need there, and you'll get their registration certificate ready for them within 10 working days. So that was the original idea that we used to develop the app.
So you mentioned something very profound about 10 days. Does this app come in to reduce the number of days that people will have to wait until they receive their certificate?
Yeah, when you walk to the Registrar General's Department, they are doing a very good job there. But because the workload is too much, sometimes if you go there, you might not get your certificate the same day. Getting someone to actually, a data entry personnel to enter the information in the system for you, you have to wait to go and make payment for it to be approved before you go back for your certificate. Ours is a little bit different in the sense that you just put your application there in the app for us. We'll process everything. You don't need to worry about the payment, the approval process. We will take you through the whole process. We will do everything for you. Then within 10 working days, we'll bring you your certificate.
Let's take us through the entire team that worked on this app.
Yeah, so actually we are about 6 people who worked on this project. And actually, as I already told you, the original idea of BizAccess Consult Limited is a secretariatship firm and a consultancy firm. Yeah. So part of our activity as a consultancy firm is to help our clients meet their business regulatory compliance very easily. That is why we came up with this idea. And so when the idea came that we could get an app that could help people get their business registered, all the services that they need to get at the RGD could be done, we quickly, asked around people who were actually working at the Registrar General Department. We met some people, interviewed them to get a brief overview of the whole process. What happens there when I bring an application? Where does it go? They give us all these education, and then we got a developer, a very good developer, who is a Ghanaian but is not here in Ghana. So he did much of the work. So what we did, those of us who were not developers, what we did was to make sure we get the necessary information for him, what the process an application has to go through. And before that, as I said, we had a one-on-one sort of discussion with people who were working at the RGD to get us, a good overview of what goes on there. And that actually went into the app development.
So basically, you conducted a survey, and that informed your decision to build the app. What were some of those findings that you found you got from the survey?
Yeah, so we realized that someone is having a business, but the person doesn't know that that business has to be registered with the Registrar General's Department. So you realize that a lot of people were out there, they had no education, why they need to register their business. So we took it upon ourselves. If you have the app at the comfort of your home, you will be sensitized why you need to get your registration done. So we use the app as a means of educating people, and also as a means of letting them get their business registered conveniently without having to walk to the RGD, and yeah, for comfortability's sake.
In terms of numbers, how has the app been able to help people register their business successfully and get their certification?
Yeah, so, we as a secretariatship and a consultancy firm, we do not actually charge exactly as the amount of money the RGD charges. We have our own service charge we add to it. And people know that because in the app, it gives you a breakdown of what we charge and what RGD is also taking for using our services. But people are happy to use that service, because if they are paying something and they will relax and the application will be worked on and brought to them, they have no problem. And so currently we have getting to 2,000 people who have downloaded the app, installed it, and actually used the app to get their business registration done. Yeah, so yeah, around 2,000 people currently.
All the application was successful.
Yeah, everything was successful. Everything was successful.
What are some of the investments that you guys have made to ensure that this app is safe, is secure, everybody can use this?
So we have, I think, something in Ghana here. They call it data compliance policy or something. They have an office in Accra. We went there to register with them. We made payment. I think we paid 1,200 cedis to register with them, that all the people who subscribe to our platform, their data, their information, everything is safe with us. So for that side, we know we are covered.
So what about updates? I know with mobile applications, you always have to do quality control, updates, and all of that. How are you guys able to work on that?
Yeah, so if we want to do an update, we get the what actually we want to do, the specific thing we want to update. We let the developer be aware of it, and wherever he is, he can just go to our backend, do the update, and everything is very smooth.
In terms of user-friendly and the app, how easy is it for people to go get this app and then use it?
The app is very, very user-friendly. Actually, we are also always looking at how to improve it. Yeah. Currently, you just go into the app, whatever thing you want to do, whether new registration, amendment, renewal, you just tap on it, you just follow the process. And we've made it into an online sort of thing. You just have to fill the forms online. You don't need to print it, fill the form, then scan it. No, everything is done online. For new registration, for anything, you can just do it online without leaving the phone. You input your information, you sign your signature, everything there on the phone. So it's very user-friendly.
Yeah, so some of the most important part of everything is money. How much will it cost for one to be able to use this application in order for them to register their business?
Yeah, so the pricing for every registration, whether it is renewal, amendment, new registration for sole proprietorship, limited liability, whatever pricing is in the app. So when one downloads the app, they can see the pricing there.
But in terms of feedback from the public, you said you've had over some 2,000 people use the app effectively. What's the feedback that you've received from the general public that have used the app?
Yeah, I would say, honestly speaking, I would say about 90%, they are very happy with what we are doing. The other 10%, I would say, people are not, sometimes they might not know how to use the app very well. They need some sort of education. People are happy using our service because they don't have to move an inch from their house. Everything could be done from the comfort of their homes, right on their phones. Yeah.
Yeah, so the RDG, I don't know if you've seen these reports, but the RDG is looking to take off some names, some businesses across the country. Your app that you have, obviously some people have registered their business. Are some people going to be in any way be affected by this move?
Yeah, people who are actually our clients, people who are working with us, they don't have problem because periodically we will remind you if maybe you have a business that has to be renewed, we will let you be aware. And to the general public, if anyone is having a business that has to be renewed, per the message the RGD sent across, they said if you don't renew it, they will take you out from the system. And so it is an opportunity for people wherever you are to use the BizAccess app to get your business renewed.
Have you had any government institution or have you had any other app designers say that, okay, hey, we like your app, can we partner with you?
We've actually not had any institution who is partnering with us for now, but some banks have come forward to work with us to get business registration done for their clients.
Somewhat to wrap up, you've had 2,000 people, like you said, use the application. What's your intended target for the next year or so to come?
Yeah, I would say unlimited. Anyone who is using, anyone who is doing a business registration or having a company, anyone who wants to register their company, do renewal, amendment, whatever, anybody, that is our target. So we want to get everybody on board so that their businesses, their companies can meet their business regulatory compliance.
What's your final message to everyone out there on your Biz app?
I would say, humans, we were created to have some sort of a level of stress. But when it exceeds that level, it affects the way you act, the way you speak, the way you even think. So to avoid stress, to avoid the hassle that you have to go through at the Registrar General's department to get your business registration done, your renewal, your amendment, simply you just get a BizAccess app. You take care of everything. You don't need to worry too much about the business registration or your company registration. Everything could be done. So we wish everybody who wishes to get their business or company registered, amended, any service at the RGD, they use the app for it.
So I've been speaking to Samuel Ampedu, and he's the general manager of BizAccess, a company that develops an app that helps and assists individuals to register their businesses with the Registrar General in a much safe and timely manner. We'll be going for a short break. This is BizTech on Ghana Web TV. Don't go anywhere.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
Welcome back from that break. Now we've been talking about the BizAccess app. Now it's actually time to see how the app works. And Samuel will be taking us through that process. Samuel, take it away.
Yeah, so there are basically 3 different ways you can use our services with the app. You can go to bizaccess.co or bizaccess.co. When you go there, you have an option to download the app on your Android phone, or you use the web. When you click on use web, it opens as if you are using the app itself. Yeah, and from there, if it is new registration you want to do, you click on new registration, you select your registration type, you input your Momo number, the number you want to use to make payment. You input it, then you click pay. Then after clicking payment, you have access to the forms to fill, then you will take it up from there. That is when you use the website, or when you get the app from the website. The third option is to use the short code *920 *122 hash. Yeah, so *920 *122 hash. That also gives you the options that you see in the app itself. It is new registration. You select one, then you follow the prompts. And with this side, you have access to the forms. You fill the forms, then you send it right there on your phone. Then we get the forms, and you take it up from there. You make payment, then you take it up from there.
That's simple.
That's very simple.
Receiving the actual forms in itself, this is more of an online, but you're definitely going to have to sign and all of that, right? So from that process, where next would you go to?
Yeah, so when the person is done filling the forms, inputting their details, everything, you can sign there online. We have something designed very nicely. You can input your signature with your hand, you sign there. We will get the forms, we will work on it. Within 10 working days, you get your registration certificate. If it is new registration you were doing, yeah, if it is amendment, you get your amendment document, everything, it will be ready within 10 working days, yeah.
And this will be delivered to you?
Yeah, it will be delivered. Actually, in the app, there is a portion for delivery, and it is compulsory. Yeah, you pay delivery wherever you are in the country to be delivered to you.
And so that has been Samuel Ampedu, the general manager of BizAccess, a company that's developing a mobile app that will assist individuals to register their businesses right at the click of a button, which is also inclined with the Registrar General's Department. My name is Mauli Aholemega, and this has been this week's edition of BizTech on Ghana Web TV.
Well, that was an interesting conversation with my colleague Mauli Ahlomega and the General Manager of BizAccess Consult. We're moving from this tech conversation to another tech conversation with our friend Jefferson, who is standing by with some pretty internet tools that can be very useful to us in this tech world.
Hello there, my name is Jefferson Seniaja from After Music. This week on Tech Bits, we're going to complete our final puzzle of desktop remote work. The previous episodes we spoke about TeamViewer, a great tool to actually log into a remote desktop and help your other counterpart out. It can even be used for presentation. The other week we also spoke about LogMeIn, another great alternative. This week we're going to complete that final puzzle called Join Me. Join Me is just like the previous ones, where it helps users just like you and I log into a remote desktop in order to provide support, be it for a presentation and many more. So let's get to it. So the product is actually called Join.me. Now Join.me is, if you remember this from our last episode, GoToMeeting. I think I mentioned about GoToMeeting. Now Join.me, it's a product of LogMeIn. Last time we spoke about LogMeIn, and I mentioned that there was a series of products that LogMeIn has. And one of these products is GoToMeeting and Join.me. So we'll actually go to Join.me now, and it spells join, then .me as the the domain prefix. Now, what that does is that it helps you create meetings, host meetings, and create presentations. It also can be used to actually get remote support. So it has all the little tools that you need in order to do remote support and remote work and presentations. I highly recommend everyone to have a look at it and check it out. So that's it for this week on our series of remote desktop working tools. I hope you found it valuable and very informative. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.
Now the business headlines of the week. We start with a story with the IEA, who has described government's projected 5% growth for the economy in the year 2021 as insignificant. Addressing the press on Tuesday, the research director at IEA, Dr. John Kwachi, said there's a need for government to come up with innovative policies that will quicken economic growth. He also added that government needs to leverage on its untapped resources for a better life for Ghanaians.
If our GDP is to grow at an average of 5%, if you take out our population growth rate, which is just about 2%, okay, then you get what our per capita GDP, the rate at which it will be growing, okay, and you get 3%. In other words, 5 for the GDP growth minus 2% for the population growth. So you get 3% GDP per capita growth per year. That's what we are aiming at. Now, I've done the mathematics, which says if we are growing at 5%, 5 minus 2, so 3%, when are we going to be able to even double our per capita GDP, which is about $2,000 currently? And my math tells me that it will take us 23 years to double our per capita income from its current level of $2,000 to $4,000.
Now we're going straight to Kumasi because traders at the KJTR market, new market, are threatening to shut down about what they call high electricity cost. The traders at a news conference said the cost of electricity at the new facility is extremely high, which is even swallowing up their revenue, their capital, and what have you. Nana Prempe, who happens to be the leader of the traders, addressing a news conference, said that the big market of about 7,240 stores use just one electricity meter. According to him, the situation has undoubtedly led to high tariffs in the market. He said leaders of the traders have managed to acquire some meters from the Electricity Company of Ghana to fix in each of the shops. However, authorities of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, KMA, have not given them approval despite many meetings with them. The issue, he claims, has infuriated his people since they can no longer afford to pay high electricity charges. For these reasons, they are going to close down their shops in the next 2 weeks to stage a massive demonstration over the high utility charges. Now let's go to the Bank of Ghana because the Bank of Ghana has decided to keep its policy rate unchanged for the 6th consecutive time. It's still resting at 14.5%. The decision by the central bank follows a second meeting held between March 17 to March 19, 2021 to review the economic developments of the country, explaining the rationale behind the policy rate decision. BOG Governor Dr. Ernest Addison explained that the 2021 budget has set fiscal policy on an adjustment path, albeit slower than originally anticipated. The adjustment for 2021 is expected to be driven mainly by revenue-enhancing measures and to lesser extent expenditure rationalization due to the need to continue the stimulus programs. The committee assessed achieving the enhanced revenue targets and the heavy reliance on domestic markets as the main risk to the budget. That's what the governor of the Bank of Ghana said. Well, going back to what happened in Parliament yesterday as the Finance Minister designate met the Appointment Committee in Parliament yesterday, he's been making some interesting remarks, especially in the field of oil. And he says the government of Ghana is working with the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, over reports of cases of unaccounted for oil revenue as captured in PIAC's latest report. He said this during his meeting, his vetting by the Appointments Committee of the Parliament on Thursday, March 25th March 2021. Last year, PIAC disclosed that an amount of 1.5 billion cedis petroleum revenue could not be accounted for by the Finance Ministry for the period between 2017.
We have had a series of meetings of PIAC to try and reconcile these numbers and their use. I can assure the House that this is not tantamount to any type of corruption from the ministry or the government in any way. We should be clear on that. With regard to, therefore, their number of 2.4 billion, in which they insist on, you can see that President was at the ceremony yesterday, and that is an indication of our commitment to work with them to clear that. Mr. Chairman, let me assure you that all of these issues would be resolved, and we can have a happy medium with PIAC going forward. We do not, I mean, there may be honest mistakes made, but there's no profligacy on our part or a sense of arrogance as to the use of public money.
Well, he couldn't go for this vetting without being asked about the data bank Ijapadio controversy. But Ken Oforiatta also downplayed the conflict of interest allegation which was leveled against him following the involvement of data bank in the suspended Ijapa deal. According to him, when the deal was being put out, he did not have anything to do with data bank. Explaining to the Appointment Committee of Parliament yesterday, he called out the former Special Prosecutor Martin Midu for failing to give him a room to answer allegations that were leveled against him.
I think we should be having, truly a broader discussion about Ghanaian enterprise and therefore how independent and experienced entrepreneurs can join government at any point in time. After 30 years with 500,000 accounts of Ghanaians, 1 billion cedis under management, offices around the country, having participated in every Eurobond transaction since we started in 2007, are we truly saying that in the event of anybody becoming an Attorney General, you can use your law offices? In the event of being a finance minister? I think those are fundamental questions. And therefore, if the rules are clear on what you are talking about, I don't think we should encourage such cynicism because it just goes to poison the environment and we may lose good. I don't think there was any conflict of interest straight away because I was not part of the decision. I think the first-class nature of the institution speaks to itself.
This is where we end Biz Headlines on BizTech for today's edition of BizTech. This is how we draw the curtain for the entire edition of today's version of BizTech on Ghana Web TV. You can log on to www.ghanaweb.com for more news. Also, don't forget to get interactive with us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. It's at the Ghana Web. We are live and colored on YouTube as well, and the channel is Ghana Web TV. My name is Desmond Frimpong. Do have a lovely weekend.